Hey everyone, this is Ben, and I want to thank you for joining us on the Semper Gumby channel today. It is the weekend. The weekend is here. We finally made it through another week, and that's 1 week closer to the fall. And I don't know about you guys, but I am ready for some cooler temperatures because this summer has been ungodly hot here in the South. And I know it's been hot everywhere else because everyone I talked to said it is hot. So we only got about 3.5, 4 weeks until fall, but we're headed that way. Today we're going to talk about something or gear that is a game changer. And when I mean a game changer, and that game changer we're talking about is this little black box right here. This is a tankless water heater shower. And before we start the video, we want to thank our sponsor for this video, Camplux. And Camplux has sent us this tankless water heater for testing and review for our new camper. So when we go camping, there's different ways to go camping. Some of us like to pull into a camp site as far as a campground, either at a state park, which has electricity and water. Some of us like to go boondocking, where there's no water, no electricity. You're self-sufficient. And then there are other campsites that have partial water. Sometimes they have water, sometimes they only have electricity. So the big thing for me is if we are somewhere where there is no power or there is no water and you're there for a couple days, how are you going to clean your dishes, clean yourself up, or just stay clean with proper hygiene? And this right here, this portable tankless water heater from Camplux is the solution. Now right now I just got it mounted on one of my roof racks. This is not the permanent place for it. I'll probably fabricate a bracket and have it here so that way I have access to all the fittings and connections under the units itself. But for today's video, we're going to hang it right there for you to see. So the Camplux tankless water heater comes in variety of colors. Well, it comes in 2 colors, black or white. Some of the advantages of having a tankless water heater shower is 1, you have a way to wash dishes. Number 2, you have a way to stay clean, proper hygiene. And 3, it's just something you can either wash, equipment off if it gets muddy. But this unit right here is the one that has an external water pump, which will pump water to the unit. The unit below this, you would hook up a garden hose and use pressure from the source, like a spigot or a water hose, and use that pressure. But I decided to go with the one with the water pump, and I'll tell you why in just a second. So this is the tankless water heater shower from Camplux, and we're going to go ahead and open it up and check it out. So let's go ahead and open up this tankless water heater from Camplux and see what we got inside. Okay, first of all, you're going to get your hoses. And the hoses are color coded. You're going to get your Camplux water system pump. And then you're going to get your connections, and we'll open that here in a little bit. You're going to get your propane regulator and hose. All right, and then you're going to get a packet of instructions of how to hook up your system. And then you're going to get the unit itself. And all right, so we're going to go ahead and set the Camplux tankless water heater up for a shower. And Now, like I said, you got a whole bunch of hoses, and the red hose is for the hot water outlet or the outlet from the tank. And they're pretty simple. If you look, it's threaded. So basically you just thread on the handle. And you're going to get two connections. You got a red one and a blue one. And the red one is for the hot water or the outlet, and the blue is for the cold water inlet. And it's fairly simple. It's labeled underneath the tank. So to put it on, all you do is just thread it right on. And I'm going to show it to you while we do it. So basically it threads right on, and you can't mess it up because it says water inlet on the bottom and it says water outlet, and then you got your gas inlet. Right now we do not have any gas. I'm still waiting for my propane tank, but we could still use it without the heat. So it just screws right on. And then each of them have a rubber O-ring on there. So, and then it's a quick disconnect. Let me show. Pretty simple. Just pull it back and then you're on. So take it off, you just pull it back out, and there you go. So it's quick disconnects, makes it really, really easy to set on and off. Now this is the water pump, and it's 12 volt. And then you have one end with just a hose, and this will go into the water source. And then you have your other end that goes on to the tankless water heater using the quick disconnect. On the back of the unit, you will see the connector that will use the plug 12 volt source, and we'll get that here in just a little bit. And what we're going to use is we're going to use our Blue Eddy AC60 to power on the 12 volt switch. Now on the bottom of the unit itself, you have a battery compartment here, and this battery compartment takes care of the electronic igniter, which automatically starts when you hit the shower head. And these are D-size batteries that fit up in here. So what we're going to do, we're going to power on the unit, and we are going to use the 12 volt cigarette plug. Go ahead and hit your DC button there. Now always remember, you never want to run that pump dry, so always have your hose in the water source before you start the pump up, because you don't want to burn it out. And then we are going to connect our wires here. Place that on the ground. All right, so let's go ahead and turn it on. And then on the shower head, you have a stop and start. All right, folks, you got three types of flows out of your shower head. The first one is like a soft rain shower. And then you hit the switch again. It's more of a heavy rain shower. And then you got your stream, which is pretty good. And then to stop it, you just push your button in and it stops. Pretty cool, huh? All right, folks, I'm pretty much dripping in sweat on here. Should I try it out? Should I get myself wet? I mean, it's drizzling right now, so let's go ahead and try it out. Shoot. Ooh. There we go, folks. Camp shower. My favorite. Oh my God. That feels great. Whew. That was pretty refreshing. And if I was out in the middle of nowhere and needed a shower, that will actually pretty much work. And the flow is pretty darn good. And I also want to thank Blue Eddy for allowing us to power up my Camplux tankless water heater shower. So the AC60, I mean, it's more power than I really need. So what you see right here is an Apache 4800. It's a black hard shell case, and the Camplux heater fits in this case. And I'm still debating whether I should mount it here, somewhere around here, and then just open it up to use it. But I still haven't decided yet. But I went out and picked this up this morning at Harbor Freight, the Apache 4800. It's similar to the Pelican 1560. Pelican is sending a 1560 to me. So I'm gonna wait before I start cutting into this and drilling holes. And I want to see the difference in size and, you know, what would work best for my application. And let me show you the back of the unit before we... All right, so here's that handle I was telling you about. You can either leave it in the up position or the down position. And you do have mounting brackets there and mounting brackets on the bottom. And on here, I just got a little screw hanging out to fit up on the top bracket, and that's just temporary. It's not going to stay there, but just for today's video, I've got it hanging on there. When you get done using the shower and disconnect the hoses, you want to make sure you get all the water out of the hoses. So I hung the hoses over a little log or a stump and letting it just gravity drain. They do have a drain on the bottom of this also, so whatever's left in the tank will also drain down. And in the winter months, you don't want to leave water up in there, you know, let it freeze and then break the lines and stuff like that. So you want to make sure that the water's all drained. Now, I didn't mess with the water flow. I had it in the middle, so the flow out of the shower head was it was still pretty good, and I was really surprised how good the flow was. Now, if I had it on max, it'd probably do the full gallons per minute out of the bucket. But I did have the hose in a bucket, and usually it will go in a stream, or I am going to get a 5-gallon storage water jug to put in the back. And I will run the hoses discreetly, so that's still up in the works. But I just wanted to test out the Camplux tankless water heater today. And I did mention I didn't have the propane hooked up because I do have a 5-pound propane bottle I have on order, and I'm thinking about mounting that on the fender. But it does take 20, 10, and 5-gallon tanks of propane. And for the water section, the max water pressure is going to be 110 psi. So if you're at a campground and you know those handles where you pull up, the water is got a pretty good flow. So you might want to put a restrictor on the spigot before you hook it up to your water heater. But other than that, I'm really impressed with it, and I'm looking forward to using it in the fall when I do a lot of camping. So the Camplux tankless water heater, I'll give it a thumbs up. So if you got any questions, just let me know in the comments below. and I appreciate it. If you made it this far in the video, that means you're a subscriber or want to be a subscriber. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button down in the bottom right if you're not a subscriber, and then click on that bell notification button and hit all notifications. You will be notified of all notifications when we post a video. But we want to thank you guys and all. And before I close this video out, I want to give a shout out, big old prayers to my friends and family up in Maui. I've got some family there. I also got some really, really close friends of the family. One of them did lose her house, so my prayers are with them, the family. And you know, everyone's safe, but unfortunately the town is completely devastated. So no matter what life throws at you, and it will throw a whole bunch at you, just be flexible and always be Semper Gumby.